How do we go about finding our intention on the mat? When you think about practicing yoga, you usually are able to easily link and ground yourself with practicing on the mat, but you struggle to tap into your mind while you're on the mat continuously. And this is one of the reasons why when we are in our yoga classes, it's easy for us to follow because of our instructor helping us to come back to that intention while we're physically moving. How can you do that while you're on the mat at home or doing your own personal practice? I'm here to help you figure that out. If you are new to my channel, my name is Candace. Hi, welcome. I am a Hatha yoga teacher here to help you define your yoga journey here on this channel. So, really quick, let's jump into what that means. Defining your yoga journey basically means you going about finding the best outlet, the best form of yoga style that suits you and your interests at the time. Yes, things may change. No, things may not change depending on where you are in space, where you are mentally, physically, emotionally while you're on the mat. Even where you currently reside might also have an effect on how you go about practicing at home or elsewhere. So, how do you keep your mindset together while you're on the mat? You simply work on your intention. Although that sounds rather easy, there are many times, and I as well, when there are days when I decide to do my yoga practice at home where I have an intention and then I get lost. I get distracted, thoughts start coming through. We have all of these intrusive thoughts when we start to reflect inward while we're on the mat. So, how do you go about that intention? Think about meditating while physically moving through the poses. When you do your physical practice of asanas, you think about mindfulness when you move. So, when you think about that intrusive thought, when you think about that distraction that may have taken place, hearing people talk outside, so maybe somebody's cutting grass, or hearing a notification come to your phone, you want to pause, take notice, and then revert your thought back to your practice. Remember, when you are physically working on the body, you're also becoming mindful with your movement, and how you do that is also through channeling your breath while you move. When you're in meditation, we usually cue ourselves to think about when we're having those distracting thoughts to just channel back to our breath. You can do that same thing while you're on the mat, while you're physically moving. Whenever there's a time or a slow moment when you're steady in that space, in that position, in that posture, especially in Hatha yoga, which is what I teach, you want to revert your thought back to your intention. You can have your intention simply be a mantra. I am free during my practice. I am liberated through movement. I am strong in this posture. I am strong in my intention. Think about those things while you're in space, in the posture. Think about channeling your breath to tune in while you inhale and to release what's not wanted. You release, you reject, you rebuke, whatever makes sense to you to let go. You can revert back to that intention at that moment, because usually in a yogic practice, while you practice your asanas, you want to think about being in the posture, being present with yourself, noticing how your body feels in these postures, better ways to correct yourself when you feel like you're coming out of the posture when it wasn't intended to at that moment. So, being intentional about how you move on the mat, being intentional about how you think on the mat, is the groundbreaking technique to becoming successful in your yoga practice. Sounds very simple, sounds pretty straightforward, but there will be days where we find ourselves challenged to stay in tune with our mind and body while we're flowing from asana to asana. The next thing you want to consider is start by doing it, taking action, becoming intentional with the action. That's why I presented intention first, so that you know about how to get started. You do that by getting started. You just do it. And that phrase sounds so simple. We see a major company that has that slogan that literally says so much in just few words. Just do it. 3 words, 3 syllables. So simple, you think, but that's not always the case. So, when you go about finding your way to the mat, revert inward. Knowing the outcome is what will be the driving force in order for you to be successful in your practice. So, the more we stay in our practice, the more we stay present, we will see differences over time. When we look for results, we aren't always going to get the outcome of instant gratification. And that's one thing we also have to consider as well while we move from posture to posture, while we channel our breath throughout the posture. There will be days where you may notice one side of the body might not be as flexible as the other side of the body doing the same postures you've been doing on a daily basis. How do you become present in that pose or in that posture during your practice? Being aware, being mindful, and then accepting what's happening in that moment. That's where the meditation comes in. That's where the mindfulness and the connection of meditation and channeling your breath to allow you to be observant. And then the next step mentally is to accept, not to force, not to judge. And that's why in meditation you hear, be aware of that thought. Once you're aware of that thought, don't take it anywhere with no judgment, no concern. Just be aware and accept that it is at the moment. And then revert back to your breath. Channel your breath. Channel your intention. Set the mindset where you're ascending up so that you can reach the potential outcome. Maybe not that day, maybe not that moment. But the more you become present, the more you're into it, you will find that you will reach that outcome at the end. So be mindful while you practice on the mat. We'll be talking more about this in the videos to come. So stay tuned for more Talks with C. Samadhi. Channel in, let's chit chat. Whatever comes to mind, make sure you drop it in the comments below. Maybe you can help me figure out the next topic for the next video while we're off the mat. Because again, on this channel, we're doing more than yoga asana. We are being intentional about our practice and defining our yoga journey. So really quick, what does defining our yoga journey mean? Becoming intentional is the pure mindset of defining your yoga journey. Becoming intentional. How do we go about what resources we're going to take in order to help us achieve the yoga practice that we want? This is the ground, this is the foundation to allow ourselves to take action not only, but to be in control of where to go and what pathway to take. So, as we stay here together and become more present and connect our thoughts and minds and ideas together, we will all become present to defining our yoga journey. So stay tuned. If you found this fun to listen to, if you love yoga, make sure you hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new and would love to hear more from me, as well as seeing new topics that will be presented on a weekly basis here on this channel. So once again, if you like this topic for today, hit the subscribe button for more updates that you'll get in your notification box. The sooner you do it, the better off we'll be. All right, until next time.